Anybody would like to speak to that? Or-
Mark?
That's what this time's for, so.
Hello, I'm Victoria. I'm the project manager for this construction. So my understanding from what Miss Melissa at the building permits told me is that we can use a 10-foot setback as long as we have an open porch, which we do. And then the rest of the construction of the building has to respect the 20-foot setback. And there's two small corners, I believe you all have the site plan, that encroach on the 20-foot setback. So we're just requesting if we can have a variance just for those two small corners that encroach the 20-foot setback. Otherwise, if this doesn't happen, we will be very close to the Resaca in the back. So we're trying to just bring the property in a few feet so that we can have a stable foundation and not be too close to the water. That's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, it's 6:02, public hearing is closed. Action item number 1, consider an action to approve the variance request to reduce the from the front building setback from 20 feet to 10 feet on the property at 32832 Harvey Escalante Road. Mark?
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, very unique situation. That lot is unbelievably narrow. And like she mentioned, if any closer to the Resaca is getting concerning. If it was a through street, I would be concerned about it, but it's not a through street. There's only a limited number of people that ever be trafficking there because of the way it's set up and the cul-de-sac at the end that's further up into the county area. So we don't feel like the four feet or the 7 feet will make a huge difference. And that additionally, we have the 60-foot right-of-way, so there is still a cushion. Most streets have a 32-foot curb-to-curb right-of-way, but because that's a rural area, the street will only have about 14 feet at the most, so you have a lot of room, additional room that you don't have on a normal street. So that's why we recommend approval.
Any discussion? Can I have a motion to consider action to approve the variance request to reduce the building setback to 20 feet from 10 feet?
Board President?
I'll make the motion to accept or to approve the variance request to reduce the front building setback from 20 feet to 10 feet on the property indicated at 32832 Harvey Escalante Road.
All in favor?
Aye.
Need a second.
I second.
Sorry, second.
Second by Dr.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. Action item number 2, I'm sorry. Consider an action to approve the preliminary plat of Falcon Landing subdivision. We have a few people that want to talk on this. Angela Burton?
No short jokes, I am standing. So my name's Angela Burton, and I live at 109 South Cuates Drive here in Los Fresnos. I know I'm probably standing up here in vain because the mayor already proudly announced the subdivision that's going over there without the plat being officially approved. But I have to say, I moved here, I actually invested here in 2017. I moved from subdivision hell in Brownsville. And I bought on South Cuates off of Henderson because of the wonderful rural atmosphere that it had, the beautiful resacas, and all these wonderful amenities of, being at peace. And, as a homeowner, I just want to express my concerns regarding the proposed plat for Falcon Landing subdivision. That's pretty much adjacent to our community. Now, I fully, and I've been around the block a few times. I've worked in different communities, chambers, and I understand that growth is inevitable. I understand that. But I'm talking about responsible growth. Responsible growth when we look at our infrastructure, right? Responsible growth that we're not impeding or creating gridlock in certain areas. And in our particular area, I think the current plat has too many homes placed on lots that are significantly smaller than the established standard in our neighborhood. This subdivision is not going to look at all or be the same size or have the same wonderful greenery as the current homes that have been on South Cuates and North Cuates. I believe it'll harm the character and safety and the livability of our current area. I moved here and I invested here. I pay taxes here. And I left Brownsville because it was subdivision hell over there, and the houses are on top of each other, and so I moved from here. I moved to Olmito, and a developer came in and started developing. He went bankrupt, and then the bank was just letting any old house in. And I'm still Facebook friends on that subdivision, and the crime has risen over there. There is dogs. People are dumping dogs over there because there's people that live in that area. And so, I believe our neighborhood is defined not only by its larger lots, its adequate setbacks, reasonable density, and the open space, but also by the rural beauty and wildlife associated with the area. This area serves as a habitat for birds, turtles, I've taken a few out of my pool, small mammals and other native species that clearly rely on the vegetation and waterway for survival. The developer has cleared the natural buffer, resulting in the loss of mature trees, native plants, critical wildlife habitat, which cannot be easily replaced once destroyed. And he has left a few palm trees, but all that wonderful brush is gone. Residents in this area value the peacefulness that contribute to our quality of life, mental well-being, and property values. The proposed density and the removal of natural vegetation, fundamentally alter the landscape. Beyond environmental concerns, I remain deeply troubled by the broader impacts of this high-density proposal. Additional traffic congestion, particularly on Henderson, is not built to accommodate high volumes. I wonder if we've done a traffic study on that, because if you were building 160, 170 homes and each home has 2 cars, that's 340 more cars on Henderson. The strain on the existing utilities and infrastructure, including drainage, which is already a challenge in parts of our neighborhood. And in our case, sometimes when we have a 3-day weekend and the guys don't get out there to do the lift station, my plumbing gets backed up. Loss of neighborhood character, as the proposed lot sizes are out of scale with existing homes, and this is true. Potential impact on property values due to overcrowding, changing community appeal. At this time, I respectfully request that the commission take these concerns seriously and consider requiring the developer to reduce density and design a subdivision that complements the surrounding rural community rather than overwhelming it. Thank you for your time and for your consideration. The concerns of those who live and pay taxes here. I appreciate your commitment to thoughtful planning and hope that the commission will require a revised plan that reflects responsible growth while preserving the integrity of our neighborhood. Thank you very much. Again, I remain Angela Burton at 109 South Cuates.
Thank you, Ms. Burton. Steve Morrow? David? How do you say it? I can't read your writing.
Sorry,
Floodman? Okay.
I don't have much to say other than we believe that this is going to be an asset for the community. We have put a lot of thought into the design of the community. The average lot size is actually consistent with the zoning. We've actually got wildlife consultants to make sure that our parks, we've got 3 private parks in there. This is a gated community, so it's not like there's any danger to the public. This is all private streets that will be maintained by the community itself. So we would just ask that you go ahead and approve the design that we've put forth. We're contributing also to the infrastructure that you're questioning, so upgrading the infrastructure is part of what we're putting out there.
Thank you. Any discussion? Mark?
No, I don't have any particular comments unless you have questions, and then I can hopefully answer any questions you might have.
You had to have signed in.
You want to let her, I don't mind her speaking if y'all don't mind.
Okay, come on.
Good afternoon, good evening. My name is Josefina Kamek. I live in 107 South Cuates. And this is my statement as a resident of that area. As nearby residents, we are deeply concerned that this proposed expansion would negatively negatively affect the safety, character, and quality of life of our community. The addition of more homes in an already limited area will overcrowd the neighborhood and lead to increased traffic congestion. More vehicle flow poses a significant safety risk to the children and residents of the area who walk, bike, play outdoors, which they cherish a lot, especially in my neighborhood, since most of the residents living on South Cuates are young families with children of elementary age through high school. And this also affects the neighbors who walk, their pets, and the community members who exercise in the mornings and evenings. We have military personnel that currently runs through there in the mornings. We have federal employees who also exercise in the mornings there and in the evenings, and retired folks that also live in that community that like to walk their dogs and like just to walk around, just to enjoy the evening strolls. The peaceful atmosphere and open country feel that we currently enjoy will be compromised. One of the primary reasons my husband and I chose to live in this part of Los Fresnos after our military service ended was for its spaciousness and serenity and the country style living. We value our privacy and the open land and the sense of breathing room that is not available in tightly packed subdivisions. We do not want to live crammed together like many of the neighborhoods in Bronzeville, where overdevelopment has led to congestion, noise, and a diminished quality of life. I mean, we drive around, let's not go far enough, Los Pinos states. That's just boxes in there, them within feet of each other. You can hear each other screaming at family members screaming at each other next door. You hear cars turning on in the mornings, making noise. You hear the dogs barking. You hear mothers screaming at their children. That's something that we're not accustomed to. We don't like that. That's why we moved to Los Fresnos. Los Fresnos is known for its small town charm, strong community spirit, which you guys promote constantly with your events, and deep connection to nature, agriculture, and ranching. Allowing this subdivision, HOA, gated community, however it's presented, would undermine the characteristics that makes this town special and the reasons why families choose to put down roots here. To add to this statement, I moved here in 1992 from Mexico, and for the record, legally. My father chose this place to live because of its trees, the Fresno tree. Mr. Lonnie Moses, may he rest in peace, some of you might know who he was, gave my father an opportunity to establish his roots here with his young family, providing him employment. He always said, this is a wonderful place to live and to raise a family, create memories that can go on for generations, which that's what I am doing. Mr. Moses was very kind, very kind. For these reasons, I respectfully request that you take our opinions into consideration and have some sort of resolution to this, because Los Fresnos is a beautiful place, and it's not only that people know about Los Fresnos here. There's other people that move down here from other regions. My husband is an example of that. We could have easily stayed in California when we ended our military service, but because California is just outrageous when it comes to pretty much everything in that place, once he came down to Los Fresnos and I introduced him to what Los Fresnos has to offer for our family, he fell in love with it. I started off our first home in Harvey Escalante. As we graduated from college, our family grew, we expanded, we upgraded to San Juarez because it was what we were looking for. And not long ago, my father-in-law retired from California, retired in California and decided to move down here. Once he came down here and saw how beautiful this area was. As a matter of fact, he lives down in the Laureles area because it's peaceful, it's quiet, it's country living. What's the hurry in bringing all these homes in here? Let's focus on other things that are much more important. Business development. Let's treasure this, because to other people, this is a gold mine. We are a gold mine. Let's be picky in who we choose to bring into this town. Be prideful in how we present ourselves to the outside. We're not Brownsville, we're not Harlingen, and we're definitely not McAllen. At least that's where we're trying to get to. We have a long way to go. And overcrowding this place with homes is not it. The scenery, you guys have a picture on your website of Resaca. That's the Resaca picture that you have on that website. It's from that neighborhood that is gone. So cherish that picture because you will never get that back. Thank you.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Yeah, Rob, I have a comment. I'm not opposed to growth. I'm not opposed to growth, but when I see this plat and where a zillion homes, and that's just an exaggeration, are planned for 2 feet of land, that to me is a bit too much. I do like I do like the presentation. You can put as much of a window dressing as you want, or you can put as much lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig, and the window dressing doesn't hide the fact that it's gonna lead to overcrowdedness. So, with that, when it comes to voting for this approval of this plat, I will oppose it. But based on that, yeah, I just think that there's too many homes that are planned for this area. And the problems will show up after it's built, and the city will be the one that would have to deal with all those problems. So, with that in mind, when it comes to voting, I will oppose this approval of the plat.
Mr. Chairman, can I comment a little bit on the size of the lots? When the developer came in, I believe the first sketch had 50-foot lots on there. Of course, some time ago, we as a city went from 50 to 60. And so we said that that wasn't acceptable for that particular area. And so after meeting with us and some of the residents, that's why you have 70, 80, and 90-foot lots that address a lot of the things and the concerns that we had and the concerns that people have. So to say the setbacks are the same as what the setbacks are in South Cuates. The setbacks are the same. The size of the lots are much bigger than what you see in many areas of town, because of there are some areas of town that the minimum standard is good and it's fine. This area is not, and so that's why it's reflective that that's not minimum, and it's very different. For that reason, the same way the setbacks in the back, we have developers come to us, they want us to change the setback from 25 to 10, and we say no, because that means I'm sitting in my doorway and Carlos is sitting in his doorway in his house, and that's as far as it is. But we have those setbacks that are no different than the other parts of Cuates. And so they've already been increased in the square footage, the linear feet across the street to 70, 80, and I believe 90 feet. So I think we've addressed that adequately.
Well, I think that if this, I mean, this is a nice subdivision that's going in there. On what we're gonna do all the way up and down Henderson Road, we're not gonna approve any subdivisions up there anymore. And that's really all I have to say about it. It's a nice subdivision, it's gated. It should be a nice addition over there.
I have a question. Is there any road improvements on Henderson and the front part of the subdivision proposed?
Not with this plat. I sent you some information.
Yes.
Study on this November, the vehicle traffic, and the afternoon traffic is the most, and you're talking about just under 200 vehicles in an hour. That's 3.3 vehicles per minute. The existing road is not crowded. What crowds it is the fact that it's narrow.
Yeah.
And we know that, for those of you that are around, whenever we did the Resaca Crossing improvement on the east and the west side, unfortunately, it's the same people that are complaining today that said, don't increase that Resaca size of those roads, because then more people will come construction and the one on the north begins construction, that we have meetings and we have meetings with the residents and ask them what they want. Whipple Road is already under, we have funding for that with, it'll look like Evergreen Street, which has a lane in the way, a center turn lane, shoulders and sidewalks. From my talking to a lot of the residents in the Quatas area, do not want that kind of road because it will effectively change the dynamics. But a road better than 20 feet with a nice shoulder would be nice. The average two-lane road is 24 feet. That means there's some more, some less. 2480 if people are, that's one that I know of, that's a state road. When it gets into the two-lane a little bit out of town, it's 26 feet. So it's a little bit above average. And, so there's ways that we can address that, but we want to address it with what they wish. And that wish is right now is from, I don't want any change in that road to huge change. So yes, that will happen, but it doesn't need to happen today.
I'm sorry, I've never spoken to you about the road.
Well,
I've never spoken to you about the road.
I never said you didn't.
You said many people, the people here that are approving it are the same people.
Okay, we let you talk. Okay.
And allowing comments. So
Do we have any further discussion? Can I have a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Action item number 3, consider an action to approve the minutes of November 17th, 2025. So, motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.